Namaste. These video clips are made by the Tat-Tvam-Asi Trust in Chennai for spreading the word that in December on 23rd and 24th, 2017, the Tat-Tvam-Asi Trust and Sri Madhusai Divanapalli's Foundation for Healing Beings, Canada, have jointly organized an international Vedic Astrology conference. Tat-Tvam-Asi Trust was founded by Dr. Sankara Bhagavadpada in January 2011. The present video astrology conference seeks to share the astrology work of the Tat-Tvam-Asi school with participants interested in Vedic astrology. These participants are in India in the conference venue and in many other parts of the world. The conference is organized as a hybrid meeting, teleconference. I am Kannan Subramanian, Secretary and Trustee of Tat-Tvam-Asi Trust, Chennai.
And Guruji, one more thing. Some people are too dependent on astrologers. They are totally weak-willed, but for each and everything, even if they get cough and cold, they approach astrologers.
Oh my God. Okay. Very good question. This is a wonderful question because it's got so many ramifications. It goes to so many places. It's see, you got to understand that the Hindu social matrix in which this Jyotish was born. This social matrix is very old because Jyotish matrix is, at least I would say, this Vedic matrix in which it came to birth is at least 5,000 to 10,000 years old. 5,000 to 10,000 years old. And there was a time when this religious matrix, the social matrix, was much more vibrant and creative. Like how the West is very vibrant and creative. Not that it does not have problems. The West has got enormous problems, but you still see an exuberance of energy in the West which you don't see in India. So in that sense, the West is very creative, the West is very vibrant. Now India was like this. Ages ago, India was like this, very vibrant, very creative. And now over the centuries and over the millennia, especially in the last 1,000 years, this Hindu civilization has undergone debilitation, as it is called, weakness. And we have become so weak that I looked up some of the ancient Jyotish books, and I was shocked to find that they are talking about muhurtas, when you will cut your nails and when you will go to Baba. Now this is the giddy limit. This is the height of idiocy. Now why are you doing it? Because you lost your intelligence. You just lost your intelligence. Then from where do these questions come? The questions come from fear.
Right.
So fear-stricken.
So that accounts for superstitions too?
Superstitions, India, full of superstitions because of fear, because you want to succeed. So you are so hemmed in by the Ketu energy in India's chart. The Ketu energy is hemming constriction and inhibition, so hemmed in that to just go outside your house beyond the veranda. So if you see a lone Brahmin coming in front of your house, then that's supposed to be an inauspicious sign. Abhishakanam. You're not supposed to see a lone Brahmin come when you step out of the house. Oh my God, you're completely fear-stricken, man.
The cat is equally bad.
The cat is equally bad. So you people, you lost your intelligence. So you got to steer clear of this nonsense, which is not your religion. This is fear-born. Okay. These superstitions are not part of Hinduism, but they have become part of the social life of the Hindus. Because the entire thing is crippled warped and constricted and inhibited. So you don't take any step, any daring step to achieve anything. You're hemmed in. And slightest thing, I can't talk anything about religion to you, because the moment I talk, you'll immediately say it's there in the Vedas. So both of us, we can't have a sensible conversation. So we can't converse. So it's a totally very tragic. It is tragic. That's the word.
To further ask a question on what Ramananda ji asked about dependence on the Vedic astrologer, what about all these, rajas and all of you, or even now we have, people who are all very big, multi-billionaires and all, who all have in their offices, they have an astrologer to whom they consult regularly, and they consult in relation to making their investments or making a big deal or whatever, they're very much there. But perhaps in the olden times, the astrologer was occupied a pride of place in the Raja's court, in the king's court, and he was even paid a salary, and he was looked after. The family was looked after, and the king was always consulting him on all that he was doing for his kingdom. So would that also not be a dependence on the astrologer?
We have to go very slowly on this ground, because it's very treacherous ground. We have to go very slowly. Now, the point that you made, that in even contemporary Hindu society, that too many Hindus are running to astrologers for the smallest disappointing thing in life, that is sadly true. Now, it is because there is no flowering, there is no creativity, and it's a kind of what historians would call petrified society. The Kalla Marirtha, petrified society. There is no Elan Vital in that society. So you're just like robots performing an act you're being asked to perform. So daily you will do your puja. Daily you will ask your God, please give me this, thank you. You'll be doing all these things. There is not an iota of creativity in your whole life. You're not free. You're living in fear. And everything you do is because of fear, because of superstition. Now, this is a catch-22 situation. This has to be broken, this cycle. Vicious cycle has to be broken. Now, it cannot be broken by anybody but by the individual. So people like great masters like Krishnamurti, they are breaking these cycles, these vicious cycles, by making you think, by challenging you, by saying something which hits tradition on the face, because tradition has gone rotten. Because if tradition was healthy and hale, then nobody is going to slap tradition. But because tradition is petrified and tradition has become extremely suffocating, that there have to be free thinkers and new masters who have to challenge the tradition. And that's what Krishnamurti has done all through his life. And this dependence is bad, obviously, on astrologers. It's not only about astrologers, it's also about gurus. It's about gurus, it's about astrologers, and it is about Hindu methods of worship and Hindu practices, because that's a refuge for you. Now, it is good to have a refuge, but to seek cover from disaster by taking a refuge, now if you excessively do it, then you are never going to come out into the broad daylight and face life. You're not going to do it. Okay. So you will be all cowards. You will live your cowardly life, and in the name, believing that God is protecting you, so you live inside a cave. You won't come out. Because when you come out, life will tempt you. You can't face the temptation. So that will be your life. Now, obviously, this is tragic. So this has to be broken. And who but the individual will break it? So that is why I said in the Zoom class yesterday, all of you have a moral responsibility to take this work forward. Because I see so much of stupid stuff in the world outside. And I don't see why the truth cannot be beamed into the world. And because that stupidity which is there in the world has to be challenged. You've got to take the bull by the horns. and you've got to show that there is light here. Then people may listen. But if people don't see the light at all, and they see only superstitious beliefs and refuges, then that's where they're going to live the rest of their life. So that's not a healthy thing, to stick to these astrologers and go there for every stupid thing.